is the BWF Wrestling Podcast. With your host and the leader of the BWF Nation, the King, Susan's Little Babu, the undisputed BWF Champion, Aaron Bishop.
Wrestling fans, if you are joining us for the very first time, you have no idea of the gem of a podcast you have just discovered. I'm your host, Aaron Bishop. He is my co-host, G. Patrick Condon, and this is the BWF Wrestling Podcast. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to us by clicking on the bell if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you very much for joining us this week. We are bringing to you a review of the controversial 1999 Royal Rumble. We are going to talk about the PCO situation, among other things. But yeah, let's throw it over to our co-host, Patrick. How are you doing this week, my friend?
Hi, Aaron. Thank you. Yes, thank you for throwing to me. Yes, I'm doing great. Actually, you know what? I'm not doing great. I went this morning to the grocery store. I've gotten into eggs recently. It's a bit of my hyperfixate on things. Like I get into food and anyways, I'm back into eggs. Bought a fresh carton, go home, and I see it's recalled. Salmonella.
No.
Yes, that's right. I never had any. I didn't get a chance, right? And so, but that's not even what annoys me. I go back to Sobeys and they say, no, that recall is just for BC. And I mean, so before they even talk to me, I'm standing up at the customer service counter. The guy looks at me, looks past me. I'm standing there forever. And, I got a political career that I'm trying to manifest here. So I can't do what I want to do, which is call this guy the hard R and ask him, what's his problem? Can he help me? And then finally, somebody rolls their way towards me and says, no, I checked the website. It's only in BC. And then I get my phone up and I got to get the information that I saw and I show it to them and I point and they say, oh, well, I guess I'm wrong. And I said, that's just fine. I don't care. I don't care if you're wrong. And they're like, well, they're making it seem like, do you want to have a refund? Do you want to return the eggs? And so, I got my money back, tried to be as pleasant as possible. And then I'm like, do I write somebody about this? Like, do I have to warn the world that, or St. John's anyways, that Sobeys is still selling salmonella eggs? And it's not, I mean, the UPS, is that what it is? What is the bars that you scan? UPC, the UPC codes match. Expiry date matched. They were the same eggs. They are expired, or not expired. They have disease on them. And Sobeys is still selling them. Bad information. I was so mad that I was trash talking the people imaginarily in my mind on the way home, out loud, saying things that it's just mean. It's just mean. And as somebody that has worked a ton of those jobs, I get it. But so I'm not doing good. A high stress day. To be honest with you, high stress. Aww. Thank you.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, how you doing? What do you got going on?
I'm doing pretty good, but
all right, never mind.
Speaking of someone else though, who's mad at their job and who's just having a bad day.
Wait now, hold on. Transition?
Mm-hmm. Segue.
Yeah, it's a good transition. Let's see.
Yeah. There we go. PCO. Oh my God. Apparently TNA asked him to take a 70% pay cut, which is why he went out on the GCW show this past weekend with a sledgehammer and destroyed the TNA Digital Media Championship belt and started going off shooting a promo on TNA before they cut the feed and got him out of the ring. Did you see any of this? I mean, like, holy shit, this is a crazy situation.
Watch your language. Watch your language. No, I didn't. I heard of it. I never saw any of it. So it happened. It didn't happen at a TNA show.
No, it happened the same night as the TNA pay-per-view.
Which it looked like it was a packed building from the camera angles. It looked like it was a bigger show than an AEW show.
Wow. Definitely had a full house there, but yeah, man.
So with things going so well, why are they asking one of their legends, one of their vets, to take a huge pay cut? I mean,
he started saying in his promo that the new management in place didn't have a clue about the wrestling business. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, PCO no longer part of TNA. His contract is up, or he quit, or whatever, maybe both. But yeah, that is done. This is like this generation's version of Alundra Blaze throwing the championship belt, women's championship belt, in the trash can live on Nitro.
Yeah, that is. Well, not the best time for him to do it. He was with TNA and Impact through the worst time, and now they signed a deal with NXT, and that's when he decides to go rogue. PCO is a loose cannon, which makes sense why they gave him that pirate gimmick all the way back in the day, because he's a loose cannon, and I love my wrestlers wild. He probably would do a really good shoot interview, it sounds like, but seems like probably his worst enemy in terms of getting ahead in the industry.
Now I think about it, maybe it's got something to do with the heat that he had between Shawn Michaels and Triple H back in the day when he had his feud with Shawn backstage. They didn't like each other at all.
No, and I think, was it him that refused to lose to Diesel in '95 in Montreal? And Kevin Nash had to smarten him up or something like that. So,
yeah. He's not a fan of the Clique. The Clique doesn't like him. So I imagine that might have something to do with it. That and the 70% pay cut. My goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, crazy. Did you have a chance to watch Raw last night?
I did not. I watched some highlights. And by some, I mean I watched a couple of seconds of CM Punk talking some trash on Hulk Hogan. And, what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know why they would do it unless they're bringing Hogan in for a surprise appearance at the Rumble or some shit. But Hogan can't be in the ring. Like, I don't know how he would be eliminated. He's not going to win it. He's not going to go over the top rope. So I don't know. I don't know why they even bring it up when they're having this partnership with Hogan, when they're, putting him on their TV. He's coming back on Saturday night's main event. So burying Hogan at the same time as showcasing Hogan doesn't make any sense to me. But I don't know.
Well, do you think that it was CM Punk going off on his own, doing his own thing?
Probably, maybe.
Yeah. And so, I don't like CM Punk as a person. I don't think I'd want to be friends with this guy, with Phil Brooks, because he just reeks of insincerity. All of his political beliefs and stuff like that. And he's so open about it and so relentless in all of his things. He's right about everything. I would never be friends with him. I'd never trust him alone in a room with a girl that I liked.
Some strong words coming from you.
He seems like the type of person, the type of bro that would steal your girl, like a
Ryan Cornish.
Oof.
Blast from the past.
That's right. We don't forget, Cornish.
Never forget. Never.
We never forget. Nice. Yes. But exactly that. Holier than thou, but we'll steal his buddy's girl, or sue his buddy, or whatever happened between him and Colt Cabana. I don't think CM Punk has very many friends.
No, not at all.
Anything else good happen?
Just trying to think anything else during the week that we need to talk about for wrestling. Saturday night's main event apparently is up head to head against AEW's pay per view, and that has been done on purpose, as WWE are now bringing out old tactics as they used to do this against WCW back in the day. WrestleMania 5, the Survivor Series, of course, went up against one of their Clash of the Champions. And it's just been one of those things that WWF has done over the years, and it looks like they're bringing out the old tactics again, trying to get people to not watch the other product. If they're so scared of AEW, why do such a thing? I think it's silly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just good sportsmanship, I think. I mean, I hear what you're saying. And really, at this point, it seems like AEW are kind of down and out right now. I mean, we're well into a year and a half of them just not being good. A lot of we've had a lot of times here on the show where we have said, oh, it sounds like, feels like they're getting back together. They're getting it back on course, but like the shows are not, when it first, I wouldn't miss a week of Dynamite. And now I have zero idea or care to know what's going on there. It's just the shows aren't fun. But their pay-per-views seem to be enjoyed by the wrestling fans. So, and then you also have Saturday Night main event. The last one wasn't very well received. But what pay-per-view are they going against? It's the big one, right? Is it All In?
No, it's not All In. Honestly, how bad
it's
is
the one in Texas, is it?
No, that's not until the summer. Or not summer, but not until later in the year. It's not right yet. I cannot remember. Is it Revolution? I think it's Revolution.
Oh yeah, that's the first one of the year. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, what do they got booked for that Saturday night's main event? It's Gunther and Jay, right?
Yeah, Gunther and Jay,
Now,
Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. This should be all right. Should be all right.
I did. Now that I think of it, I did watch the Gunther and Jey Uso promo, and Gunther is so good, man. He's almost an entirely different person than when he was Walter. His promo skills are just as good as his wrestling skills. Like, he is so in control, and his burns are his lines are really good. I would like to see him go against CM Punk, because I think he'd be able to hold his own, and certainly be able to carry CM Punk to a good match. I think it'd be a really good program.
I think so too, 100%. Yeah.
And CM Punk would probably take the belt off of him or whatever. But I mean, I would love a year-long kind of thing, because, what was it that he said about Jay? It was something about him having a lot of charisma, but he sucks in the ring or something like that.
Basically, that's the cliff notes of it. But yeah, he said that he was a really good tag team wrestler.
Yeah. You're a really, really good tag team wrestler. Yeah.
And it's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah. So funny. But yeah, we are going to get into the Royal Rumble 1999 in a few minutes. We have some people joining us in a couple of weeks, hopefully next week. But I want to give a shout out to new owners of the IPW, Island Pro Wrestling, in PEI, Canada, Justin Summers and Chris Frizzle. These boys have just bought the promotion from former friend of the show, oh my God, what's his name? Doug? I think it was.
Couchman. The Couchman. Yeah. Let's see if these guys manage to sit in an upright position when they interview us. I mean, the disrespect. We've spoken to legends on this show that have some of these guys are barely able to walk around the room, and they still were able to sit in an upright position. But Doug, with the iPhone vertically shot. Anyways, I'll miss him. What happened to him? He sounded like he had such a good business plan going.
Man, this is going to be such a good interview. I can't wait to find out what happened to Doug and what transpired and to see where these new owners are going to take wrestling in the Atlantic and Maritime region. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
I wonder how much equity Doug had built in it. Like, how much did these guys buy it for? How much does a wrestling federation go in PEI these days? That's what I want to know. So good. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, you just got me pumped for it. Woo! Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think now, my friend, it's time that we get into why everybody is here. The meat and potatoes of the show. Here's our review, the BWF Chronicles. This is the Royal Rumble 1999.
Oh, yeah, baby. Who's doing this? Do I do the sound? Oh, I got it.
Oh, God, I love that music. It's so good.
Yes.
But here we are, the 1999 Royal Rumble. My goodness, I think I was in grade 10 when this happened at the time, going back to high school here. This was a big deal at the time. Vince McMahon had never wrestled in a match before, ever. So we're going to see Vince McMahon come in at number 1 in the Royal Rumble. Sorry, number 2 in the Royal Rumble. Stone Cold Steve Austin is number 1. We are finally going to get to see some action between this almost 2-year build between Vince and Stone Cold.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, yeah. Certainly since Mania 98.
I mean, Stone Cold gave the stunner to Vince in the fall of 97, right? So, I mean, it's been building for a while.
All right. And, so we're well into the Attitude Era at this point. Like you said, getting to the 1-year anniversary, which would be like officially, I don't know, depending on who you talk to. Anyways, what else do we got going on? I mean, the undercard is probably pretty hot at this point in time too, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff going on in the WWF right now, or at this time. The Rock, fresh off his victory at Survivor Series and pay-per-view win over Mankind in the previous month's pay-per-view, Rock Bottom. He's the corporate champion. Rock is in his prime right. Well, I guess Rock has different levels of prime, but he was so good back then in 1999. He's just coming into his own. But yeah, besides The Rock and Mankind, oh my goodness, we have so much going on. Dennis Knight underwent a transformation. Undertaker placed him on an altar, made him drink his own blood, and renamed him Midian. Taker promised another sacrifice at the Royal Rumble. I remember that like it was yesterday. Of course, Mark Henry's date with Chyna and Sammy took an unexpected turn. Henry found out the hard way that Sammy was a man in drag. Chyna showed an embarrassing video of the moment to Mark's mom.
Wait, now who showed it? Chyna?
Chyna showed the video to Mark's mom.
What a work there, because everybody used to say that Chyna was, in fact, a man.
Also, Terry Reynolds, Dustin Rhodes' former ex, used her miscarriage to coerce D'Lo Brown into doing whatever PMS wanted to do. PMS, of course, was Terry Reynolds, Jacqueline, and Ryan Shamrock. Pat, do you know what PMS stands for?
Yes, of course I do. Pretty Mean Sisters, isn't it?
Attaboy, of course.
Yes.
Then we have poor old Al Snow. Goldust is playing head games. He stole head. This led to some bizarre segments leading up to the Rumble. Then finally, Dan Severn revealed that his neck injury was a ruse. He helped Owen attack Blackman during a Lions Den match. Owen had previously broken Severn's neck with the same move he used to break Austin's neck.
Really?
Pile driver. Oh, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that they had done that as a gimmick.
It's so good.
Yeah, wow.
Maybe bad taste. I don't know, but I liked it. I thought it was great stuff. I thought it was good. Anyway, Owen would even contemplate retiring before this match with Blackman. And in my opinion, this is some of Owen Hart's best work. Just behind the King of Hearts and the Slammy winning Owen Hart. It's good stuff.
So is he? Wait now. So is Owen with the Nation at this point? Is that what you said?
This is after the Nation.
Is he black? And this is after Blackheart. So
Yes.
what's his?
He's tag teaming with Jeff Jarrett right now.
Right. Okay. Right. So it's right before he goes into Blue Blazer,
Correct.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, a very overshadowed part of his career. I mean, it's yeah. The
But
less
yeah,
said about it, the better, I'd imagine, because we're
probably.
keeping the good times going.
That's right.
Now,
All right.
Aaron, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How is it that Vince McMahon ended up in the ring um, with Stone Cold Steve Austin in the first place? Like, why would he allow himself to be in that situation?
He just didn't want Stone Cold to win the Rumble. He put $100,000 bounty on Stone Cold's head to anybody who threw Stone Cold over the top rope would get the money. I don't know. I think Vince. I should maybe.
I don't know.
There it
you
is.
go. Wow.
I don't actually know why Vince put himself in the Rumble. I think it was just an ego thing. But yeah, folks, anytime you hear the "I don't know," please write in the comments the answer to the question that was asked, and you have a chance to win a BWF prize package.
There you go.
But yeah.
So shout out to we got some comments coming in from David. David is pumped for this year's Royal Rumble. Going to be an awesome one this year. Aaron, how do you feel? Do you think it's going to be a good one? Do you have a pick?
You know, the star power is undeniable. We have a lot of viable picks. There's pretty much zero to very little filler, which is a very good thing. Everybody's established and everybody has legit, claim they could win the Rumble. So I think the Rumble match itself is going to be pretty good. On the women's side, I'm not so sure. The opposite of the men, there's probably going to be a lot of filler, a lot of NXT filler going on there. So I'm not too excited for the women's Rumble. The ladder match, Owens and Cody, that has potential to be really, really good. I've always liked, of course, I like seeing the winged eagle. So that'll be fun watching that hanging from the rafters. So yeah, I think the Rumble will be decent at the very least.
There you go. David showing his appreciation. Yes, USA. And he wants CM Punk. He wants a CM Punk to win. Yeah, me too.
Anybody but John Cena. Fuck. Sorry,
you're going swear. John Cena and swearing.
I know, I can't swear. Anybody but John Cena.
Anybody but John Cena. Wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long for that hate to come back. Hey, the John Cena hate.
It really doesn't. No. Oh my God.
All right, so let's
continue, huh?
Let's go. So what is the first match? Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know?
That's right, folks. Your ass better call somebody. It is the Road Dogg versus the Big Boss Man. Now, Road Dogg is a hardcore champion going into this match, but the match is not a hardcore match. And I guess the referee did not get the memo because he held the title up before the match started. Pretty funny. But that being said, Big Boss Man is one half of the tag team champions along with Ken Shamrock. And for some reason, instead of doing a tag team match between Road Dogg and Billy Gunn against Ken and Big Boss Man, they split up into two singles matches. So later on, we're going to get Billy versus Ken. But as of right now, this match starts off with some stalling and some psychology. Boss Man asking and yelling at Jerry Lawler who the man was while choking the Road Dogg, while Lawler is yelling back in his high-pitched voice, "You are Boss Man," is absolutely gold.
Oh, are they like doing a thing, like trying to do like a Sid thing? Is it similar to the Sid?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. The match picks up a bit, and even though we see some bear hugs and sleeper holds, I'm really liking this match. The fans loved Road Dogg back then, and they hated the Boss Man. We see Road Dogg go through his routine with his punches and the knee drop before Boss Man hits him with the spine buster and backbreaker. Road Dogg slams Boss Man off the top, but Boss Man would end up hitting the Boss Man slam for the win. Not the worst Boss Man match at a Royal Rumble by any means.
Wow, and Bossman won. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Now, Andrew was remarking before the show started that unbelievable how over Road Dogg was back at this
He was,
point.
man. He really was. Yeah.
What do you attribute it to?
His ability to connect with the crowd, getting the crowd involved in his, in his promos and stuff like that. Yeah, and he was entertaining in the ring too. Like, he wasn't a terrible wrestler by any means. He could wrestle. He could do his thing. Road Dogg was fun. He was just fun to watch. And yeah, man,
Did
Road
you
Dogg
like him?
was so over.
Did you
I
like him?
did.
Yeah.
I did prefer Road Dogg over Mr. Ass for sure.
Yeah. I wonder what the chat thinks. Who did you like in the New Age Outlaws? Who's the glue? Who's holding it together? Was it the Road Dogg or variations of the word ass, Billy Gunn?
I don't know when we're going to talk about the Big Boss Man again, but let's just say, like, I think it's crazy how the man started off as a heel in the WWF during the Golden Era, going against Savage and Hogan on the main event, turned into like the number 2 or number 3 baby face in the early 90s. Then he goes to WCW. His career starts floundering. He becomes like Big Bubba Rogers and the Boss and the Guardian Angel and all that stuff, and then comes back in the peak of the Attitude Era. That awesome theme song, and he becomes one of the most hated heels. Such a good wrestler, such a good entertainer, and he would go on and say he would have the tag team gold. He would win hardcore gold. He would face the Undertaker at WrestleMania. I mean, what a career for the Big Boss Man. And who can forget stuff with the Big Show? Yeah, that Big Show.
Yeah.
Daddy had cancer. Oh my goodness. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. Next, we have build up to the next match, which is Ken Shamrock versus the aforementioned Mr. Ass Billy Gunn. Billy was in the middle of the ring with Ken's sister Ryan in the front row. Billy would proceed to moon Ken's sister. Shamrock would bolt down to the ring, get in the zone, and slap on the ankle lock to the Ass Man.
That's what Billy would do to pick up women?
Just moon them.
Is that what he was doing?
Just show them their ass. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, perpetually always in the mid card when he didn't deserve it. As far as I'm concerned, Billy Gunn did not get cool up until about 2 years ago. And so that's about a 30-year career where he was just eye rolling. Had all of the pieces of the puzzle together, but just didn't have the one piece that you need, which is it. You need to have it.
He did not have it. But it's a quick little did you know, Mr. Condon? Did you know that Ryan Shamrock was actually Ken Shamrock's girlfriend in real life?
Wow. Very strange. Very strange.
Oh, you didn't know?
Okay.
Nice. I do love Ken Shamrock in this era, and as we just said, cannot say the same about Billy Gunn. He just sucks. He would win this year's or that year's King of the Ring, arguably one of the worst ones, if not the worst ever to do so. He just didn't have it, unfortunately. This match, not a whole lot to go through. We see some interference from Val Venus, but in the end, it is Ken Shamrock that locks on the ankle lock and gets the submission victory over Billy Gunn.
There you go. Nice clean. Now, on the road to WrestleMania, Gunn would become the hardcore champion and Road Dogg would become the IC champion. Did you know that?
I definitely did know that. I always...
I just felt like mentioning that for some reason.
I always thought, though, back then that it would be the other way around. I figured Road Dogg would be hardcore bound, and then Billy Gunn would be the IC champion before moving on to bigger and better things. But
why was that just a swerve for Russo? Because we are definitely in the golden era of Vince Russo booking right now, right?
I would assume it would be to swerve the fans, but at the same time, I think they probably also realized that Billy Gunn probably wasn't progressing as much as they wanted to, and Road Dogg was just connecting with the audience more. So,
Yeah. Still, I mean, denigrates the Road Dogg is not an IC champ kind of guy. You know, he's like
no,
a honky. Well, I was gonna say honky tonk man. Uh, he's like a hacksaw Jim Duggan. You know,
yeah,
that kind of a deal.
absolutely.
All right. What do we got coming up next? Speaking of titles.
It's the European Championship. It's X-Pac versus Gangrel. Leading into this, Triple H had defeated Gangrel, so the Brood targeted DX. Gangrel would come up short in his bid against the Road Dogg, whom he gave a bloodbath to, and now would try to take the European title from X-Pac. Very interesting matchup here, as X-Pac was at the height of his popularity here and could still go in the ring. Gangrel, unfortunately, would not rise in the ranks, and this is probably as good as it got for him. He wouldn't be around much longer.
Good hand. Infamous moment when the Brood finally spoke on camera for the first time. It was kind of the end of Gangrel there, because he was, they had this, as everybody knows, amazing music, great entrance up through the flames. And then they gave him a mic and he was all, ha ha, you know, like that kind of bad heel promo. Ha ha. You think you can get to the Brood? Ha ha. No.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just a mustache. Yeah.
It just, yeah, not that great. Nice to see that Edge still brings him out every now and then.
Edge tried to get Gangrel out for his WrestleMania match at the Hell in a Cell against Finn Balor, and apparently he was told that nobody remembers Gangrel.
Wow. Sad.
Sad.
People
But
do. They
do though. Yes, of course they do.
People, I think now that Vince is gone, they've gotten the memo that wrestling fans remember everything, which is a shame, because so much wrestling does not rely on you. Like, it almost relies on you not remembering things. It's the way that they try to get away with so much stuff. But wrestling fans remember everything.
Literally, they remember the color of the tights, of the of the show they're wearing. Yeah, like, people remember every little minute detail of wrestling. But yeah, that being said, this match here, it was a good match. They do headlocks, leapfrogs, shoulder blocks, fast and furious action to start. X-Pac hits a high crossbody. Gangrel reverses it for a 3 count, but that wasn't the planned finish, so everybody just ignores it. Teddy Long, tisk tisk.
Oh yeah, so I heard about that. So what happened?
Teddy Long just counted the 3 count. The shoulders. I mean, I guess they didn't really kick out like right before. Teddy Long could have slowed it down a little bit, but you're told as a referee, if the shoulders are down,
count it like a shoot. Yeah,
you keep going. You count it like a shoot. So shoulders are down. They counted 3, but they just kicked out and just pretend like it didn't happen. So that kind of dragged down the match just a little smidgen. But that being said, X-Pac hits the X Factor for the win. They didn't stop for an entire second this whole match. They were bumping around, trying to steal the show. Gangrel's big career moment, in my opinion, would probably come at WrestleMania 15, a couple months from then, as the Brood would help The Undertaker hang the Big Boss Man at the Hell in a Cell when they descended from the ceiling on top of the cell.
Wow. So his big career moment is during what is
someone else's
largely
match,
recognized as the worst Hell in a Cell match of all time.
And probably the worst Undertaker WrestleMania match of all time.
I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot to compete with.
There's a lot, though. That's John Gonzalez, hold my beer. But yeah.
Yeah.
Next on the show, Kevin Kelly interviews DX. Triple H, Road Dogg, and X-Pac each say they will win the Rumble and the $100,000. Triple H claims DX is as tight as it gets, but this is about the WWF title. It also concerns $100,000. This is every man for himself, before Chyna interjects and says, "and woman."
That's right, because women can do it too. God love her. So, and it tells you how much inflation has gone up, that you get these guys to do it for $100K. I don't think it'd be that much money. I don't think that would be that much of an incentive to the wrestlers these days with their guaranteed contracts.
Next on the card, we see Luna Vachon versus Sable in a strap match for the WWF Women's title. Luna is wrestling in like a thong suit thing, and she does not look happy. I can only guess who's going over as the road to WrestleMania here has begun.
And I like this. Luna, I'm sure, was not happy to get all of the cosmetic surgery that she probably felt like she needed to get at this point. But I gotta say, did something for me.
I read a story online the other day where she was talking to a top WWF executive back in the day, and she was saying how they spent years trying to make her look ugly. Now, all of a sudden, they want her to show her tits. It's not right. She wasn't happy about it.
I don't think that was appropriate.
No, probably not.
I don't think that was a joke.
It was not a joke at all. No, but that's okay. It brings some entertainment to the show, folks. All right. To their credit, though, I was not expecting much in this match, but the ladies, they really bring it and they whip the shit out of each other early on. Sable pulls Luna into the post. Luna answers with some choking and strap shots. Finish happens when we see Sable's stalker come out of the audience, attacks Luna, and Sable gets the win. The stalker would end up being Tori. Sable would be out of the WWF by May and would sue the WWF for sexual harassment.
Probably true. It probably happened. I'm going to say it out here. I think she probably was telling the truth there.
They would settle out of court, and Sable would return 4 years later.
Is that when she would meet Brock? Like she came back looking a little different with straight hair and stuff?
No, she met Brock. Actually,
do it.
Where is?
I don't know.
There you go. Folks, leave a comment. When did Sable meet Brock? Next, they recap the Rock and Mankind feud. We have covered this feud in the archives. Rocky suggested multiple stipulations for a rematch from their championship match on Raw where Mankind had won the title, but Mankind shot them all down. Then The Rock said he quit trying to convince him, so Mankind got an idea. It's a fight. The Rock cannot win, and Mankind cannot lose. Mick wanted an I Quit match. He never quit in his career, despite everything he endured. Mick says pain is his calling. But Rocky doesn't think Mankind is indestructible. He promised to drag Mick down Know Your Role Boulevard and check him into the SmackDown Hotel. Mankind has 1 ear. Rocky has 2. He will hear Mankind say he quits. Doc Hendricks asks The Rock if he can really do what no one has ever did. Can he really make Mankind say he quits?
So is this a shoot? Did Mankind or like Mick Foley has never submitted? Is that what they're saying? Or is it just like he's never quit in life, like the spirit of he's never quit.
They're saying he's never submitted, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we would have to
fact check that. I mean, you're saying that with conviction, so I believe it. All right. So up to this point, Mick Foley, in all of his different personas, had never submitted.
That's what they're trying to get across here. If that's actually true or not, I don't know.
That's what I was after.
Oh, God.
That's right.
But yeah, The Rock, he tells Doc Hendricks to know his role and shut his mouth. He isn't some Rudy Poo candy ass on Jabroni Drive, and the millions of fans chant The Rock's name. And
this was when this was all fairly fresh, hey?
Yeah. He will prove that he is the great one and the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. And when Rocky makes Mankind quit, he will be the best damn WWF champion in history. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. He comes out wearing his tracksuit attire as he just had breast reduction surgery to prevent cysts from forming on his pecs that are caused by steroid use.
Now, interesting that you bring that up. because I think I've noticed that they're growing back now. I've seen a recent photo of him, and I think that I see that the breasts are coming back. It's true. It's sad. I mean, and at this stage in the game, is he going to go back in and get them drained again or whatever?
Well, geez, the way I'm going, I'll need mine drained soon too. Not like who doesn't have moobs these days? Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Did you know?
I wonder if that's because we're all eating steroided meat. Anyways, it's not for this discussion, but it it makes me question.
Another, did you know?
Okay.
Patrick Condon, did you know that the original plan for WrestleMania 15 was supposed to be a triple threat between Mankind, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Now, yes, I did know that, and I know why it didn't happen or how it didn't come to be that way. Do you know?
HBK would get into the ear of management and it would say that the main event of WrestleMania should be one-on-one and not a triple threat for the title, which is highly ironic. It's only, 4 or 5 years later, he was in the main event at WrestleMania in a triple threat for the title.
Oh, Shawn Michaels. He wasn't even in competition at this point. He had nothing to lose or gain by this.
No, pilled up Shawn Michaels ruined what could have been a fantastic WrestleMania main event. One that Mick Foley deserved, in my opinion, because the year later at WrestleMania 2000, that was just...
Yeah, imagine. I mean, that's just the domino effect of everything, because then WrestleMania 20 or 2000 would have had a better, probably one-on-one main event.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there you go. Thanks, Shawn.
Right. But yeah, The Rock at Mankind, this is one of the most iconic matches in WWF history for, I don't know, for better or for worse. But the match starts out, they're brawling in and out of the ring. Rock gets on the headset, calls everyone pieces of trash, and uses a chair. Rock also gets the ring bell and hammer and uses it against Mankind's head and starts singing on the mic. Next, they climb into a ledge. He knocks Mankind into the electrical equipment. Like, it was all set up there, all the panels and stuff. Sparks are flying. The lights go out. It had to be a 12-foot drop. Mankind had a cut above his right eye and was bleeding. While he was handcuffed, Rock hit Mick with a clothesline. This is where things would go crazy, as Rock would put a chair on Mankind's head.
My God, look at that. Look at that. That's a nice nice little clothesline.
It's perfectly done, right? Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, they would put the chair on the head, do a corporate's elbow on Mankind's head. And then this is where we really see the brutality coming in. Of course, if you watched the Beyond the Mat trailer, this is where his kids start crying. This is where all the chair shots coming in.
And you know, Dave Meltzer would never admit that this was. He's been confronted with it a bunch of times about people who weren't safe working with the chairs, and The Rock really takes a lot of liberties with Mankind here, and you know, not really shows that maybe he's not that great of a person.
No, they agreed beforehand to have a few chair shots, but as you said, The Rock just did Rock things, took some liberties there, and just
like, I was just feeling it. I was just feeling it out the audience.
In the moment, man. Go with
it.
Yeah, right. That picture that we just saw, those are chair shots 3, 4, and 5 to the head.
Wow.
Cole is screaming for Mankind to quit as Rock is hitting Mankind with more chair shots. Number 6.
Yes.
Now, number 7, number 8.
Nevertheless, I mean, you shouldn't have your children there. And I think that Mick, oh, sorry, you said Cole. I thought you said Dewey. But Mick has his kids there, which he shouldn't have in the first place. I mean, you're going to get 2 or 3 headshots with your hands cuffed. You know, that's already too much for your kids to see, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And now they're on the outside of the ring, and he's taking shots to the back of the head. I mean, he takes another 2 or 3 shots. By the end of it, he has 10 unprotected chair shots to the skull. And The Rock puts the microphone in front of Mick's face, where we hear over the speakers Mankind say, "I quit, I quit, I quit." It was actually a pre-recording of a promo he did on Sunday Night Heat beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I liked it. Very clever.
Told a very incredible story, very entertaining match. But that being said, I mean, just looking back at watching this match last night, I was like, oh my God, what? Like, even back then when we were desensitized to the chair shots, we knew back then that this was nuts. Like, we knew back then this was just above and beyond what should be happening. And now, 20 some odd years later, when we know better with concussions and stuff like that, like, it's mind-boggling. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to look at. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like, how is it that Mick Foley is still to this day, he's like coherent? Doesn't seem like it has affected his head, his brain. His body is mangled. Apparently can't walk around very much at all. But how is it that some people get CTE way more severely from much less, and then Mick Foley, I mean, is impervious to that, luckily for him.
Chris Nowinski is a really good example of that. He just took 1 or 2 bad shots from Bubba Ray Dudley, and his career was over. And you know,
well, I mean, I think though that Chris Nowinski was the one that said he wasn't going to go back, because I'm sure that what I'm talking about is like it's like Muhammad Ali. They said for years before he died that he had Parkinson's disease, but it was really because of brain damage, of getting
CTE.
punched in the face. And now they are at least saying that it was Parkinson's, but it was brought on by his boxing career, which is all right, fair enough. It's a step in the right direction. It's crazy that Mick Foley doesn't have any of those effects.
Currently,
anyways. I mean, you never know.
10 years
really.
from now, 15 years from now.
Yeah. And what that's going to mean to his family and his kids and stuff.
Very good. I guess that means time to move on to the Royal Rumble 1999.
All right.
Beforehand on Raw, China would win the corporate Royal Rumble, and she would be number 30 in this year's Rumble. After a recap of the Austin McMahon feud, we hear the glass break, and Austin makes his way to the ring. Next, we see an absolute jacked Mr. McMahon strut his way down to the ring.
Shocking. Very shocking to see that this weenie that we watched for our entire childhood, just who's continuously abused and see him come out. I mean, he has a better physique than. I mean, who has a better physique than Vince McMahon at this point in the roster?
Nobody.
He's got a Hulk Hogan body in 1999. Like, there's like Austin isn't jacked like that. The Rock isn't jacked like that. Taker isn't. Triple H isn't yet.
He's in his 50s too.
And he's in his 50s, yeah. All natural. It's amazing.
All natural, sure. I'm pretty sure piss testing wasn't included with the boss.
Yeah.
Back then. But the Rumble starts with Austin stomping a mud hole in McMahon, flipping the bird and slamming Vince. Golga comes out only to get eliminated by Austin right away. Vince and Austin fight to the back into the ladies' room where the corporation was waiting for Austin. They beat him down to the point where he is taken away in an ambulance. Entrants 4 to 11 aren't the best, although we do get to see a young Edge. The likes of Draws, Tiger Ali Singh, Gilbert, and the Blue Meanie, and more slow the match down a little bit. But then we see Mabel as he beats up Mosh and steals his spot. He eliminates Dan Severn, Steve Blackman, Tiger, Draws, and the Meanie. But then the lights go out.
Oh, I was going to ask, is this Mabel we're talking about here or Viscera? But I guess this is the making of Viscera.
It is. The Ministry interrupts and pulls Mabel out of the ring. They take him to Taker, as we see there. He asks Mabel if he accepts him as his savior. Mabel shakes his head yes, so the Ministry beats him up and loads Mabel into a hearse.
That's right. Wow.
And we'll see that visceral transformation. The Ministry of Darkness, great stuff. Kane, he comes down. He clears the ring, but then eliminates himself as he chases the insane asylum orderlies who are trying to put him in a straitjacket.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I don't even know how he's allowed to be in the Rumble in the first place if he was escaping the insane asylum. But anyway, Vince returns and he joins the commentary desk. The final 10 in the Rumble are Test, Big Boss Man, Triple H, Val Venus, X-Pac, Mark Henry, Jeff Jarrett, D'Lo Brown, Owen Hart, and Chyna.
Wow. Now, probably amongst the worst final 10.
I was about to say, not the greatest field, but I don't think they're the worst. I mean, if we're looking at Rumbles like 1995, 1997, 1993,
Right.
yes. I mean, like they're some
at least
bad.
These are all names. Yeah.
At least these are all names, exactly. D'Lo Brown, an underrated talent. His stuff with the European Championship is really, really good. I was looking back, watching some old promos of him back in the day over in Europe. Oh my God, they are absolutely gold. But Owen Hart, he came out to his Enough is Enough theme as well. I was wanting to say he got one of the biggest reactions of the night. People shouting "Nugget, Nugget." I mean, it was great. We see Austin returning after commandeering the ambulance. He enters the arena and chases Vince around ringside. Vince goes back to commentary once Austin climbs into the ring. Everybody targets Austin, but fights start over who will throw him out. Even X-Pac and Hunter scuffle. Chyna throws out Henry, but Austin clotheslines Chyna over the top rope. Hunter attacks him for this. They fight until Steve hits a stunner and tosses Helmsley over the top. A few more eliminations bring us to the final four. Vince McMahon, Steve Austin, the Big Boss Man, and D'Lo Brown.
There you go, Big Boss Man. Wow,
Big Boss Man. Shout out to the Boss Man. Yes,
and
sir.
Shout out to Taff Taylor here, who I don't think Taff were able to see emojis for some reason, but we do know that you have a hand pink waving. So does that mean a pink hand waving?
I think he's waving to us, Pat. I think he's waving to us.
Oh, okay.
Hello, my friend. But yeah,
Right.
D'Lo Brown, he takes a moment to pose, and the Big Boss Man takes advantage, throws him over the top rope. Austin does the stunner, gets rid of the Big Boss Man. Austin confronts Vince at the announce table. They brawl all around the barricade until Austin blasts Vince with a chair. Back inside, Austin nails a stunner and a diving elbow. However, The Rock appears. He distracts Austin, so Vince dumps Steve over the top rope to win the Royal Rumble.
Now, I mean, and he keeps his $100,000, I guess, then too, right? That's this cheap man. I mean, to book yourself winning the illustrious Royal Rumble, do you think that this is a case that is as bad as, like, what are our other comparables? Vince Russo winning the championship.
That's the closest comparison, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, and unfortunately, this wouldn't be the first time Vince would do something like this or that year, 1999. Vince would become the WWF champion himself later in that year. So, yeah, I think Vince just has some sort of ego thing where he's able to play wrestler because his father would never allow him to be the wrestler. So now he's just getting his fill in, getting himself his flowers.
Yes. Good psychological analysis there, Bish.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Unfortunately, it didn't really mean much as the next night on Raw, HBK, Shawn Michaels would say that Vince, because he's now a wrestler, Shawn Michaels as the commissioner is in control. And Vince,
everything that you watched yesterday was completely a waste of time.
Right. And Vince, earlier in the show, would forfeit his spot at the Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania, and Sean would say that because he did that, it goes to the next person in line, who was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, I've never heard of that rule before, and I don't think it's ever been utilized since, that the second last guy automatically wins, right? Wouldn't they have gone back in 1997
And did a Final Four kind of thing?
Well, or if we were going by Shawn Michaels stuff, then we would go to whoever the fifth last guy was, which would have been Fake Diesel, I believe. Fake Diesel, or was Fake Diesel in Final Four?
Fake Diesel wasn't supposed. He was technically in Final Four, yes, but
yeah,
he didn't make the cut in the Final Four pay-per-view.
No, shocking. Yeah, so it's just one of these rules that they just kind of arbitrarily put on. So and does Stone Cold ever have to put up this main event, like, or is it just handed to him and that's it? He goes to WrestleMania 15 without anything else. No,
it's handed to him, but him and Vince would have a match, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, the Steel Cage match, where Paul White would make his debut. But yeah, that wasn't for Mania Championship on the line or anything like that. No. But yeah, that is the Royal Rumble 1999, widely revered as the worst or one of the worst Royal Rumbles of all time. Going back on it, me personally watching it, I liked it. I thought it aged better now than it was back then. So I remember not liking it back then, but now that I've gone back and watched it again, decent pay-per-view. Is it in the top 5 worst? No. Top 10? Probably yes. But that being said, not as bad as I remember. And folks, that is all we can ask for as a 42-year-old man.
That's right.
Back watching wrestling memories from his childhood.
Wow. What a stark way to put that. But so true. And we thank you for going down memory lane like that, Aaron, and turning a bad memory into a good one. So there you go. I mean, the way that you describe it to me, it sounds like that there was a good storyline going throughout the entire match, which is rare. Maybe the first time or so that has happened.
The thing. Yeah, there's a lot of different storylines going on, like the Kane stuff, the Mabel stuff, all the different things going on. Something to keep you entertained all the way through, at least.
There you go. And then the pay-per-view as a whole is what must be remembered fairly well, just based on the Quit match is for all of its controversies, is remembered as a pretty iconic match, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. And, the WWF was on fire at this time. This pay-per-view had the second most amount of buys, Royal Rumble buys in history, just behind Royal Rumble 2002, over 660,000 buys for this pay-per-view.
Wait, now, to this day?
To this day.
Holy moly. There you go. Never to be eclipsed now that we are living in a post-pay-per-view era, so there you go.
Patrick, do you know how many pay-per-view buys the Royal Rumble 2002 had?
I don't know! Hold on. Don't. Wait now. What did you say this one did?
660. 660,000.
This one, 1999?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 710.
710? Folks, if you know how many pay-per-view buys the Royal Rumble 2002 had, leave it in the comments and you have a chance to win a BWF prize package. We will give you the correct answer later this evening.
Really? We're almost done here. What's the... Yeah. Okay, anyways, let's go to trivia. Come on.
Yeah, let's do this trivia. All right. We always do this every single week, folks. We end off our show with a little bit of trivia. Why not? It's fun.
Sooner or later, we'll... In the past, we have done dares, and Aaron's eaten a lot of stuff that he has not liked. Maybe we'll bring that back sooner or later.
Absolutely.
But for now, we just do it for fun, for the fun of the game. Aaron is on probably a 4 or 5 month losing streak right now. I can't remember the last time that you've come away Folks, if you know in the chat, when was the last time Aaron Bishop won a trivia contest? You provide the right answer, and we will send you a BWF prize package.
Even if it's the wrong answer, you'll be entered to win the draw. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Me? I'll
Yeah.
ask you first.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aaron, now you've gone through the entire thing. As I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but the 1999's Royal Rumble, it featured 7 Canadian wrestlers. No, I think I'm gonna say what you want, but I'm gonna skip over this little part. Anyways, it featured 7 Canadian wrestlers. Owen Hart was listed as Canadian/American in his bio for that one. And Edge, as you said, was in there too. That leaves 5 Canadian wrestlers. Can you name 4 of them? I guess I think you probably name all 5, but just give me 4.
Val Venus.
Yes.
Oh my God, Tiger Ali Singh.
Yes.
I need to look at the list. Oh my God.
Of course you need to look at.
Oh my God. Right. Oh my God.
You've names have been said, and you've noted them both in your rundown. Actually,
This is hilarious. I know I can't take too much time to think about it, but I'm literally drawing a blank right now. It's driving me insane.
One guy was fairly early in the pay-per-view.
Edge.
No, fairly early in the Rumble match, I should say. If he was going by his more known name, the name that, if he's in the Hall of Fame is probably under that, then you would probably get it. But at this point in the Attitude Era, he's under a kind of strange name.
Oh, the Canadian Earthquake, Gulga.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. We got Edge there. Yeah, he's there. He's Canadian too. Test, he was Canadian.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, perfect.
Woo. You got all of them? Four?
Missing one.
Oh, yeah. So, and the 5th one was Kurgan.
Ooh, I would not have gotten that.
Yeah. All right, what do you got for me?
All right, my friend. 1999's Royal Rumble was not the first to feature a wrestler getting eliminated by Chyna. She also did it the year before, even though she was not a participant. Who did she eliminate?
In the 1998 Royal Rumble, hey? Yes,
I'll give you a hint. I literally just said his name in one of the answer I just gave.
Okay. Is it Owen Hart?
It is.
Yes. I
There
was
you
going
go.
to say that, anyways. So, we tied. But I have a supplemental or a sort of an offshoot question that I can ask you right now. Out of all the Canadian wrestlers, 7 of them, who is the only Canadian wrestler to eliminate anybody in the 1999 Royal Rumble? In the 1999 Royal Rumble. I think we got a lot of 1999 Royal Rumble fans out there. Canadian Royal Wrestlers. Canadian Wrestlers Royal Rumble fans.
I don't think it was Owen. I'm going to say Edge.
You got it. You got it.
Nice.
All right.
Raise that roof.
Stand by.
Do we have another?
I do. So he said for me to send it to you, and you read it to him. But then I guess you're both tiebreaker. You both race to get the right answer.
I don't understand this. So you're going to send me the question, and then, or both of us this question, or?
He's going to ask the question, and we're both going to race the answer.
Oh, I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
Okay. Is the podcast going to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The Royal Rumble has 30 participants. What year did they actually change the format to allow for 30 participants?
2013. 2008. No.
Hold on now. Did they change it to allow 30 people?
Before it used to have fewer than 30.
Yeah.
What year did that?
1988.
Oh, 88.
89.
89.
Yes.
I
Aaron,
thought he was going for the
hilarious.
40 man. I thought he was going for the 40 man Alberto Del Rio Royal Rumble first, though.
And there we go. Again. Aaron, your strategy of guessing the number after I've guessed it was never going to work. I could take it all day long there, baby. Okay.
That's as bad as a strategy of him giving you hints.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
I know,
Oh,
yeah.
it's great. It's great.
Oh, my God. Well, folks, if you've stuck around this long, thank you so much. This, again, has been the BWF Wrestling Podcast. We are live, hopefully, every single Tuesday. Coming up next week, we actually don't have a topic next week. Andrew, our producer, will be picking one for us. But the following week will be
Lucky
Spring
you.
Stampede, WCW in 1998. But until next Tuesday, please, folks, do not take us serious. We do not watch the product. Have a great week, everyone.